Uh, National Digital Library of India is a Ministry of Education initiative. It is under National Mission on Education through Information and Communication Technology and part of Digital India project of the Government of India. And it is being executed by Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. To give you a brief background that how these things are overall perspective appearing, you know the challenges our education system is facing. We have a huge number of students, but our resources are very limited. So whether it is physical resources, a number of institutes, then in each institute, physical resources like classrooms, library facilities, and then we have the lack of good teachers also everywhere. So ministry has been exploring that using these new information and communication technologies, digital technologies, how these constraints can be partly mitigated. For that, as you are all aware, that ministry initiated a NPTEL program about 1.5 decades back for massive online open courses, which ultimately led to SIAM and SIAM Prova. As you know, SIAM Prova is being broadcast over TV also. Now, when these courses are being conducted, if we can make the resources required for these courses, the contents basically, through in a digital mode at any time, anywhere, then the learning becomes more easy for the students. So that's why National Digital Library of India project was initiated, and when ministry saw enough traction, they introduced the scheme of credit transfer, and as of now, up to 20 credits from SIAM can be transferred to their respective institute. And finally, there will be a virtual certification so that all certificates can be stored in a national academic repository. So this is the overall position of National Digital Library of India. Now we have a detailed presentation on National Digital Library of India, which will be given by Dr. Vignesh, but I just want to give you a slight overview of the thing, very short overview, that it is a 24/7 umbrella digital library. That means we integrate many other repositories, libraries, institutional digital repositories in National Digital Library of India. The advantage is that it is a single window search and browse facility, so that the teachers, students, or any other user need not go to the individual site, and from single site through a single browse window, they can access all the things. And it covers all academic levels from KG to PG and all discipline. We have organized also for easy searching and easy finding in a collection-oriented manner for school students, college students, management institutes, law, research, career development, etc. Now, advantage of digital thing is that you can have multimedia content, unlike physical, where you have only books, bound journals kind of thing. Here you can have text, video, audio, simulation, animation, everything. National Digital Library of India currently has a user interface other than in English in 10 other mostly used Indian languages. Now, the pedagogy expert, and many of you are quite aware that learning best happens not just through reading or hearing in the class kind of thing. If it is done through some activities as well, if it is supplemented through activities as well. So the NDLI club is an initiative which was initiated basically from that perspective, so that the NDLI, using the NDLI club facilities, institutes can conduct learning-oriented activities for their students using the resources available in NDLI. Now, many of you are aware the various provisions of National Education Policy 2020, and possibly many of you are aware that clause number 12.3 and clause number 4.44 mentions, or rather mandates, that all educational institutes gradually should set up learning oriented and activity oriented clubs in their institutes around some things, etc. So what NDLI is doing, it is providing a platform and initial handholding so that institutes can easily fulfill this mandate of NEP 2020. Now, we have been organizing activities through NDLI Club for about a couple of years now. Before the pandemic started, that is towards the end of 2019, that time we used to conduct mostly physical activities. Though we appreciate that nowadays conducting physical activities may be difficult because of the pandemic, so you may conduct it online also. These are some of the photographs from.
A very good afternoon to all the participants. My name is Dr. Vignesh. I'm part of the National Digital Library of India team. So in this part of the session, we are going to look at the very important part of the National Digital Library of India: why, what, who, and how. Right. So these are the things that we are going to look at. First, we are going to see why NDLI was created. How does NDLI work? And then what kind of content we have at our repository. And then who is this part? And how to access NDLI. And then we are going to see what is the difference between Google and NDLI. So these are the 6 things that we are going to see in today's session. And the first part, why NDLI? So as many of you may be aware, so we were all struggling to get, when I was doing my PhD, we were all for accessing resources from one library to another library. So we had to go from one library to another library and ask for permission and then get the resources photocopied or issued. So we were all finding it very difficult. But there was a requirement especially from the research and student community and faculty community. They wanted a ubiquitous platform for giving equitable access to knowledge resources on an anytime, anywhere basis, right? So that felt need was realized with the Ministry of Education way back in 2014 and 15, and then the National Digital Library of India was launched to address this critical need of, say for example, in the physical library we have challenges like accessing the same resources by multiple persons at the same time, but whereas in the digital library, the same resource could be accessed by say n number of users at the same time. So that's one of the beauty of the National Digital Library of India. And also we have there won't be any challenges like missing or hidden or damaged resources in the physical world, in the digital world. So having seen this, the government of India wanted to democratize education, and that's when this National Digital Library of India was launched as a way back in 2016 as a pilot program, and then it was dedicated to the nation on the 19th June 2018 as a national knowledge asset. But when the National Digital Library of India was launched, that time we were never having an idea of, not even an iota of idea of there would be a pandemic like COVID-19 will hit the entire world, and we will be all locked down in our homes. So even during that time, the National Digital Library of India was giving access to the knowledge resources, not just to Indian citizens, in fact to the global audience. I remember there were a lot of African university and some of the Southeast Asian developing countries access the National Digital Library of India during this pandemic time. And one of the statistics say during this pandemic time, over 6 crore resources were accessed during that phase. And let's see, how does NDLI work? So primarily the NDLI operates around metadata. What is metadata? Metadata in technical terms, it's nothing but data about data. But in this context, National Digital Library of India has metadata that is purely basic information about a resource. Say for example, there is a book, the title of the book, the author of the book, the publisher of the book, and the basic abstract about the author, who is the what is the subjects that are being covered. So the basic information is called metadata. That is what NDLI stores or ingests in our repository. We don't store any full text in our repository. Then you may ask me, like, what is the point of having only the metadata in a digital library? Yes, that's a valid question, but we give access to the full text resources on a selective basis in a different format, right? So I will show it in the next diagram. How does NDLI function? So imagine this central part. This is the National Digital Library of India portal. So as a first step, what we do is we partner with institutions. Say, for example, University of Delhi has 1,000 non-copyrighted, digitized, open source resources, which they are willing to share it with every Indian citizen, right? And they say, for example, majority of the institutions are having ideas, that is institutional digital repository. In case if they don't have, we also help them in setting up an IDR. So once the IDR, institutional digital repository, it is set up, and then we help them in creating a metadata. So metadata, as I earlier mentioned, the basic information about resource. So once the metadata is created for these 1,000 resources, we just pull the metadata from the repository of Delhi University, and then we store it in our repository, right? Now imagine if a researcher from, say, Jammu and Kashmir or Ladakh, or from Kanyakumari, or from, say, West Bengal, or from, say, Sikkim or Manipur, they want to access one of the faculty publications from NDLI. So he comes to NDLI, he searches for the faculty name, and once he locates it, he clicks on this, then we redirect him to the IDR of University of Delhi. So here they validate this user whether he is a registered user of NDLI or not. If he is a validated user, then the entire full text resource of that content is directly given to the respective researcher. So in this process, what happens is NDLI acts as a facilitator. We don't own any content. We are not owners of NDLI. We are one of the anchors or integrators of content, right? That's how NDLI functions. And as I said, we primarily partner with institutions. And so far, we have partnered with over 347 such content partners across the globe. So who are these partners? They are primarily educational, research, academic, or say publishing institutions. Now let us see subject-wise content availability. This our content has been classified as per the DDC classification scheme. So if you look at it, so we have information and general works closer to 1.64 crore resources. We have philosophy and psychology 6 lakh resources. Religion we have 2.2 lakh resources. Social sciences we have 60 lakh resources. Language we have 1.8 lakh resources. Natural sciences and mathematics we have 98 lakh resources. Technology we have another 1.27 crore resources. The arts, fine and decorative arts we have 19 lakh resources. Literature and rhetoric we have 9.48 lakh resources. History and geography we have 9.59 lakh resources. So if you add these, as of today we have 7.2 crore resources in our repository. And these 7.2 crore resources are available in multiple learning resource formats. It's not just only e-books or articles. We have, say for example, we have thesis, dissertations, research projects, research papers, PowerPoint presentations, video lectures, class notes, coursework, term papers, assignments, solutions, lab experiments, manuals, case studies, question banks, model answers, data sets, manuscripts, paintings, sculptures, e-books. We have annual reports, project reports, law acts, law judgments, newspaper articles. So we have over 60 different types of learning resource types available in our repository. And these 7.2 crore resources are available in 5 different access options. So access options primarily denote whether this content is available for full text download or not. So that is, or partially allowed or it's not allowed. So these are the 5 different access options that are available. The first access option is open. So open access means, so these resources are available even outside of India. Like say for example, NCERT. So if you go to NCERT website, you can download all the NCERT books without having to pay a single penny, or you don't have to even register in NCERT website. You can just download all the books and study, right? That's the beauty of NDLI is NDLI has collated over 300 such open source learning platforms and then brought it under a single umbrella. So you don't have to go to 300 different websites. Rather, you can just come to NDLI and then access these resources. That's the beauty of NDLI. And the second one is NDL users. So these, you can look at this logo. So this denotes, this is primarily available to the NDL registered users. So this content is primarily coming from the national license content. So the Ministry of Education, Government of India has procured national licensing from South Asia Archive and World eBook Library. And these resources are given to NDL registered users at free of cost, right? So open and NDL. So suppose if you want only full text means you want to download the entire content or not. If you want the entire content of the presentation, the content, then you have to look for open and NDL users only. So these two will give you full text. The other access options are limited access, which means, like, for example, if there is a 30-page article, out of which 10 or 15 pages may be accessible, remaining pages may not be accessible to you. So that is called limited access. And the fourth one is subscribe. Subscribed access means, say for example, IEEE and Springer, we only have their metadata. We don't have the full text resources, right? In that case, what happens is, suppose if your institution has taken the subscription of IEEE or Springer, you can access it directly from the NDLI itself, from your registered IP address, from your college domain itself. And the fifth one is restricted access. Restricted access means it may require additional authentication from the source authorities so that you can access these resources. So these are the 5 different access options, and you can easily identify them. So when you search, so below every search result, you can find this access option here. So this one, you can see this. So this means open access. This means restricted access, right? And this second one denotes the language of the resource, and the third one is the learning resource type. Okay. And then if you look at the access option wise content, so open access content is the major chunk with 5.11 crore resources. Okay. Followed by NDL users content, which is about 6.64 lakh resources. Basically, these two give you the full text access. Full text, as I said, you can download the entire content, right? So if you add these two, around 5.18 crore resources, that is 72% of our resources are free to use for educational and research purposes. You don't have to pay a single penny for accessing these 5.18 crore resources. And if you look at learning resource type based content, articles are the major chunk with 3.81 crore resources. Okay, followed by newspaper articles, which are 74 lakhs, and then we have books of about 67 lakhs. We have theses are about 7.4 lakhs, and then video lectures are about 4.72 lakhs. And who is this for? So the resources available at NDLI are meant for every age group, starting from the school-going children to college-going youths, working professionals, academicians, researchers, entrepreneurs, and lifelong learners. So anyone who is interested in learning, we have resources for them. Now let us see how to access the National Digital Library of India. There are 2 ways through which you can access the National Digital Library. One is you can download the NDLI mobile app from the Play Store or from the App Store. Okay, or you can simply go to any browser-based any browser and then look for the application. So you can access it from the browser as well as from the mobile app. So first, I'm going to show you how to access it from the browser-based application. So now, so if you have to locate NDLI, what you need to do is first go to a search engine, any search engine for that matter, and then look for the National Digital Library of India. The first URL which you get, which is indl.iitkgp.ac.in, and we have another official URL also, which is www.ndl.gov.in. Both the URLs work. Okay, so what you have to do is, if you want to open National Digital Library, you just have to click on this URL. Then it will take you to our home page. So this is how our National Digital Library of India homepage looks like. So now this is the top bar. Here you can see there is a browse button. So under which, if you click on this, you will be able to browse the content by type, by subject category, by source, and by learning resource type. And then by default, we will be having a search icon here as well. And then we have an NDLI Club button, which will take you to the NDLI Club portal. And then we have the language interface. So you can actually, as Nansar mentioned, you can actually change the entire interface into various Indian languages. Currently, you can change it into 10 Indian languages. And then this is the login button. So suppose if you have already registered, you can simply click on login, or if you want to register also, you can click on login, and there is a register button is also available. And this is the search box, which is available at the center. And these three sections, which are newly created, which is study at home section, under which our team has actually classified the resources into various educational level and educational domain, right? And then we have a COVID-19 research repository and some featured collections as well, right? Now, if I want to search on a topic called Java programming, what I need to do is just enter the search topic and then click search. So I searched for Java programming, right? I got some results. Now I want to narrow down the results. Okay, for that we have a provision called filters. So these are available here on the left hand side. You can see. So there is a filter called access restriction, author, subject category, educational category, educational degree, difficulty level, educational level, file format, language, learning resource type, and source. Okay, here I applied for a specific filter called access restriction, and then I chose only open and Ndli. So this access restriction filter is primarily to choose whether you want only full text resources or the limited access. Okay. Now, when I clicked on open and Ndli, I got 26,863 results on this topic of Java programming. And the next topic I searched was on engineering mechanics. So if you notice this, earlier I didn't put a double quotes, but here if you look at it, I put a double quotes. So what does this mean? It means when I put double quotes, if I only both the words, wherever both the words are there, then only the results will come. When I don't put a double quotes, even if only engineering is there, it will just pull both the results. If it's mechanics is there somewhere in the topic, then it will just pull the results and display there, right? So the purpose of putting double quotes is to where you wanted both the words mentioned in the same resource, then only it will fetch the result. Okay, so I searched for engineering mechanics here. Now there is an option to, you can use multiple filters also. Here I applied two filters. I wanted the content from NPTEL, so I went to source and I chose NPTEL. And the second filter I applied is, I chose author of Dikshit, use Dikshit. I got 87 results. And then I searched for a topic called human resource management. Okay, and this time I chose a learning resource type of case study only. Okay, and then I searched for organizational behavior, and this time I wanted video lectures and open source video lectures. So I chose access restriction open, and this filter is also available only in the desktop application, the content type. So here I chose video. I got 322 video lectures on this topic of organizational behavior. And then I searched for a topic called engineering drawing, principles of plumbing. So these are primarily for the polytechnic and the ITI institutions. And then we have resources for art, science and commerce colleges as well. I searched for a topic called history of English literature, and I wanted the content only from EPG Pathshala. EPG Pathshala, as you know, it's also another Ministry of Education initiative implemented by InflipNet, where you will get PG books. Okay, I got 453 results on this topic of history of English literature. And then I searched for a topic called modern India, and then I searched for a topic called financial accounting, and then I searched for a topic called pharmaceutical analysis. This is primarily for the pharmacy institution. So we have resources for pharmacy institutions also. And then I searched for a topic called remedial biology. And then I searched for a topic called biotechnology. So here, say for example, I want to pursue my PhD on the topic of biotechnology, right? And I want to, as a guide, what I would suggest is you first do a literature review. So what will happen is you have to go and find out what are the existing literature that are available. We will refer a lot of books, and then we will refer a lot of theses to find out what are the research that has already been done and what unique things you want to do. So suppose if you want to pursue a PhD on biotechnology, but you have not yet narrowed in the topic. So you want to do a study of various theses that are already submitted. So for that, what you can do is, you just have to go to the source and then choose InflipNet Shodh Ganga. I got 6,536 results on this topic of biotechnology. And then this is primarily for the school students. So suppose if you want only poems for class 1 to 4. So I just searched for poems and I chose educational level of 1 to 4 only. And then I want science experiments. I wanted an experiment on force and motion. Okay, I just have to go to science experiments, physics experiment, force and motion. I got a video lecture, video demonstration of force and motion. And then we also have JEE Main and JEE Advanced Preparatory Materials developed by our NDLI tutor, also available. You can just access it from the source. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to access the study at home section, right? So basically what our team has done during this pandemic is we have actually classified the resources into various educational level and educational domain. So here you can see we have school students, schools related content, we have CBS examination preparatory material, and then we have engineering subjects, science subjects, humanities, literature, law and management. Suppose if I want to open engineering, what I need to do is just go here and click. And if I want science, just click here, humanities, literature, law and management. Okay. Now I am going to show you, say for example, if I want to open engineering subject. So I just have to click here. Then the engineering, various engineering subjects will appear here. Okay. You can see aerospace, architecture, chemical, civil, computer science, electrical, electronics, mechanical, etc. Right. Suppose if I want to open computer science and engineering, okay, just click here. Then the various subjects that are available or various content that are available under the computer science and engineering will be displayed here. You can see presentation, science, super course, video lectures from MIT Open Courseware, NPTEL, etc. And if you click on science, you will be able to see the various core science subjects. And then you can see the various humanities, history, geography, sociology, economics, etc. And then you can see the literature on English, Hindi, learn Sanskrit, learn Urdu, and literary works in English also available here. And then we have law and management. You can see the various management subjects, videos available here. Right. So now I'm going to touch upon some featured content for the college going or higher educational students. So we have some of the featured contents like NPTEL, Shodhganga, Swayam, Digital Library of India, and Satyajit Ray Foundation's original Satyajit Ray's original contents are available in our repository. We have Bose Institute, Spoken Tutorial, EPG Pathshala, National Science Digital Library, MIT Open Courseware, Semantic Scholar, Archive.org, Paperity, CiteSeerX, and we have some unique faculty contributions also available in our repository. As I said, we have national license content. Those are currently there are only two. One is South Asia Archive, another one is World eBook Library. Right. And then we have some featured content for the school students also. We have all the NCERT books. We have National Book Trust India books. We have Diksha, all the resources are available. We have NDLI Tutor, primarily the JEE advanced and main contents are available. We have resources from Examfia, Exploratorium, STEMS, Khan Academy, Byju's, TED, the Physics Classroom, Watch No Learn, PET. We have TeacherTube, and then we have Pratham Story Weaver resources also. Apart from this, we also have various state board books. These are some of the state board books which are available: Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Jammu and Kashmir, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Tripura, etc. Okay, so far what we have seen is why NDLI was created, how does NDLI work, what type of content we have, how to access NDLI. So now I'm going to show you how to view or download a resource from NDLI, right? So now I searched for a topic called research methodology in social science. As I mentioned, I have put a double quotes here, which means what will happen? I will get wherever all the 5 better letters are there, then only the results will come. Okay, I put research methodology in social sciences. I got only 12 results. Now I want to open this first content. I just have to go and click here, and then first click on the metadata. Okay, so this is called the metadata. I was telling you, this is the metadata. This is the title, author, source, content type. This is called metadata. Now if I want to open this content, I just have to click here, the content page. Then it will take you to the respective source web page. There you can just click on the download button, whether you wanted it in HTML or PDF. Suppose I clicked on PDF, I got this 26 page of content on this subject. Now you can download this resource and use it for educational and research purposes. You can also share it with your friends and relatives, but don't give due citation. Due credit, due citation is mandatory for any academic work. Don't get into any plagiarism related work, right? And then here I also wanted to tell you, for accessing open resource content, you don't have to be registered or NDLI, registered or logged into NDLI. But if you want to download any national license content, as I said, World eBook Library or South Asia South Asia Archive resources, then you must be registered and logged into NDLI. So here you can see I was trying to open this content on sales management marketing policies from World eBook Library. So as I said, World eBook Library is one of the nationalized content. But when I'm trying to log in, but I have not logged in. In the previous section, and you will see my name is appeared. Here I am not logged in. So here it will ask you to first log in to view this content. So in that case, what you need to do is just click on this login button. Then this pop-up window will open. If you are already an existing member of NDLI, just enter your registered email ID and password, enter the CAPTCHA and click login, right? Then you will be able to download this resource. And suppose you registered at NDLI couple of months back or couple of years back and you forgot your password, but you remember your registered email ID. In that case, what you need to do is just click on this account recovery button. Then this pop-up window will open. Here you just enter your registered email ID and submit. Then you will get an automated email to reset your password. Just follow the process. Then you will be able to reset your password and log in. And in case this is the first time you are hearing about NDLI and you never registered at NDLI, then you can just click on this register button. Then a registration form will open. Just fill the basic information about yourself and then you will be able to sign up easily. Right. So for using NDLI, you need to remember two important things. One is you should know the correct search keyword, and the second one is you should know the various filter options which help you in narrow downing the results, search results. Right. So here I'm going to talk about some 9 important filter options. Okay. The first important filter option is access restriction. So as I said, if you want only full text resources, just choose open and NDLI. Say for example, you searched on a topic called human resource management and you wanted only the full text resources, just choose open and NDLI. And if you wanted, you searched on a topic and you wanted only resource from one specific author, just go to the author page, there you choose the author. And then you can choose, apply the filter by subject category and then educational level, file format, language. So at NDLI, the contents are available in more than 400 languages, both Indian as well as international languages. Suppose if you want the content, say for example, you want the content on human resource management in Hindi or Telugu or Tamil. So just go here and then search Hindi. If the content is available in Hindi, then you will be able to download the content in Hindi itself, right? And then we have learning resource type. As I said, we have over 60 different types of learning resource type available. You can choose the learning resource type of your choice. Source is nothing but the content contributors. As I said, we have 347 content contributors. All of them are listed under the source category. You can choose the content contributor of your choice and then you can narrow down the results. And this content type filter, this is available only in the desktop application on the right hand side, depending on which content type you want. Suppose if you want video lectures, just go here and choose the videos. Right, as Nansar mentioned, we have it in 10 Indian languages apart from English: Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, Bengali, Assamese, Oriya, Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada, and other Indian languages are also we are working on. Right, so far we have seen how to access, download the resources in the browser-based application. Now I'm going to show you how to use our mobile app. Okay, so suppose if you want to download the NDLI mobile app, what you have to do is just go to the, if you are using an Android phone, go to the Google Play Store, and if you are using an Android phone, Apple phone, go to the App Store. Okay, there you just search for the National Digital Library of India. You have to enter the entire name, especially in the App Store. You have to enter the entire name, because if you put NDLI, you will not get the app. Okay, once you enter the search keyword, you will be able to see this logo, app name, and the publisher name. All the 3 should be National Digital Library of India. Then you just click on install. Once you click on install, the app will get installed. And once the app is installed, just click on the app. This is how the home screen of NDLI looks like. Okay, this is the search button, and this is the what you call the content type. You can browse the content by type, and this is for the language. You can change the interface in the mobile app also. Okay, suppose if I want to search on a topic called financial accounting, what I need to do is just click on this search icon. Then this search box will appear. Enter the search keyword and click search in the keypad. I got 2,25,000 results on this topic. Now I want to apply the filters. So what I have to do is just click on this orange color icon then the filters which we saw on the desktop application will appear here. Okay. Now I want to apply a specific filter called content type, and I wanted only videos on this topic. So I just chose video and I clicked apply. I got 205 results on this topic. We have come to the last part of the presentation, which is how Google and NDLI are different. So we are not making a comparison. We are not competitors to Google. Just to put some of the advantages that the NDLI has over Google. So basically, imagine we are going to see it with the help of an example. Imagine there is a girl called Payal who is studying in class 8 and her native language is Hindi. Similarly, there is a guy called Shamik who wants to pursue his PhD on this topic of magnetism. Now both of them went to Google and they searched for the same topic, magnetism, and they got 1.89 crore results. Whereas when they came to NDLI, they searched for the same topic and they got 11 lakh results. Now what Payal did was she applied two filters. The first filter she applied was she chose educational level of 5th to 8th standard and then language of Hindi. She got only 8 results. Whereas what Shamik did was he chose only career and technical papers. He got 219 results. Now the major difference between Google and NDLI are, so the first difference is Google has every content, right? Both educational as well as non-educational content, but NDLI has purely curated educational content, right? And you can actually narrow down the results using the educational filter options in NDLI. In Google also we have the advanced search option, but that is very generic in nature, right? And the third one is it's a unified platform. And fourth difference is we have the national license content from the Ministry of Education. So these are the major difference between Google and NDLI.